Hello, CinSanity, and welcome to another episode of our podcast. Today we have DJ Carrasco on. DJ is a retired MLB relief pitcher. He pitched for teams like the Mets, the White Sox, and more. We talked a lot of great stories with DJ as he grew up hunting out west in Arizona where he hails today. A lot of good stuff about that. We talk about a missed New Mexico elk hunt opportunity that Jim Tomei tried to push him on and more. It was a great conversation we had, so why don't you say we get this thing started? What's up, DJ?
How's it going? Morning.
I see you found your dad's wall of, I don't know if you want to call it wall of fame. What?
I would call it a wall of fame. We had talked before, and there's some outfitters out here. If anybody knows Coues deer out west, this is unbelievably impressive what my dad's been able to do. We were talking earlier, and I have one deer on the wall, actually this one, and it's not just because I set up that way. I don't know if your viewers are going to be able to see everything, but my brother has a couple. It's
okay. You can scratch your own back. It's allowed.
Yeah, my brother has a couple, but my dad, by a large majority, is all the rest. And I don't know another human being that's not like part of an outfitter that's been able to accomplish that. You were asking me what's a big Coues deer, right? And I would say you're very lucky to kill a 100-inch Coues deer. Like, that's hard to do, hard to find. You got to put in some work unless you're just dumb luck, right? Chasing a doe this time of the year and you see them outside the road kind of deal. But anything over 110, bro, you're in Arizona, not going to Mexico. Like, you're putting in work, and you know the hills, you know the patterns, you know the shade, chasing sun and shade and all that kind of stuff. And so 110, you're definitely in the books for something like that.
Let me ask you this: as it relates to actually hunting them, is it kind of more like hunting a mule deer, like spot and stalk? You know, whitetails is a lot of. You sit in a stand. There's not much glassing, spotting, and stalking unless you're somewhere like Kansas with a rifle.
Right. So this is totally not like, Midwest or Texas. I'm going to say Texas. I do a lot of hunting in Texas where you're sitting over food or something like that in a stand. You're out in the elements. Similar to mule deer with the term spot and stalk, but bro, mule deer stick out like a sore thumb. You could just do some 8 to 10 power binoculars and find mule deer all day long because they're so big. They're kind of most of the time in that lower kind of sagey brush that's open, and they're almost as tall as all the bushes around them, just depending obviously, but majority of the time you can see them with the naked eye anywhere from 400 yards out or in. And whitetail, dude, they call them the gray ghost for a reason. You got to have high powered binoculars, good optics, clear, good tripod, get out on a ridge line and start glassing into the shade, which it makes it even harder. I mean, a big bodied whitetail is 110 pounds, maybe 120. You're lucky.
When you say whitetail, you're referring to the Coues deer.
Coues deer, whitetail. Yeah. I guess the audience might be more used to the whitetail.
Most of the Midwest rednecks, whitetail is what they see in a cornfield.
This is one of their fawns right here.
Hey, that's like a Florida deer, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Florida deer they got a little baby deer too. I guess there's another one very similar called the Carmen deer or Carmen whitetail. And that kind of goes into Texas and New Mexico as well. It's a cousin of the Coues deer.
Really? I've never even heard of that.
Yeah.
Is that, I know it used to be a thing. It probably still is, but I used to hear about it more, the whitetail slam or super slam. There's different variations of the whitetail. I don't remember the Carmen being in that. I definitely Florida. I think Coues was in there.
Coues is in there. But... Yep. Like Grand Slam or whatever, same kind of deal with turkey and all that stuff. But yeah, Coues deer is in there. And again, they're a tough cookie to crack that 100-inch mark.
Oh, not only that, the terrain's tough out where you're at in Arizona.
Yeah.
That's unforgiving.
I mean, that's why these deer they're big bucks, and you know how it goes. They're smart for a reason, and they get into stuff that you're never going to see them. Hopefully, maybe chasing a doe or something like that. But if you can find one and pattern them, and then the season hits, and then you're in Arizona where it's hard to draw the tag. You might go 4 years without seeing it, and a lion killed it. Like, there's just so many variables to a big buck out here that's tough in Arizona.
Bro, you ever killed a lion, mountain lion?
No. I've only seen 2 lions in my life. My dad sees them all the time, and he's shot several of them. Every year we go to Walmart and get our lion tag, but I just never see him.
I'm surprised you haven't, done an outfitted hunt or something once just so you can do it.
Well, our buddy actually had, I don't know if he still holds it, but had the state record. He's up in the Alpine area, and they'll tree them and, do the whole dog thing, and he's always going out lion hunting. It's just, I've never made it a priority to go do a lion hunt.
Yeah.
Ooh, have you?
He'll be on. No. Jeff Lindsay was talking about possibly going and doing one in the next month or two to get another episode, but No, I have not.
Well, let me know if you guys want to do one out here. I'll hook you up with my buddy, and he can take you guys out, or at least look into them anyways. If you're going to do an Arizona hunt.
Oh, say no more.
But again,
say no more,
terrain, bro. I mean, I know there's so I lived in East Texas for a while. I had a place out there. And
we're at East Texas,
and outside of Longview, Tyler area, that whole piney.
My wife is from Tyler.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not far. I wasn't far from Tyler at all. And the first day I looked at the ranch before I bought it, it's real sandy out there, right? A lot of pines and I seen a monster lion track, and I'm like, I didn't realize there's lions are everywhere almost, right? Like we just don't see them. They're very nocturnal and elusive animals. But their high school is called the Cougars, and I never put two and two together. But one time we had a little oil pump jack on our land, and the guy who used to service it said he had seen a black lion, a cougar, on our property, year before or whatever. So we when we first got the place, we were still living in Fort Worth, and we decided, are we going to do animals? We're going to do cattle. We don't live out here full time. That's don't want to be coming out here chasing animals all the time. So let's start with a goat, right? We wanted to start with a goat. Easy enough, pretty hardy. There's green everywhere, enough food backed up to the lake. So he had water and food. And the only thing is there was gators there, but goats are definitely afraid of water. I think just by nature, like open bodies of water like that. And then this goat wore us out, bro. I didn't know about goats, and man, like all day long, one goat. We gotta go get two goats. Like, you gotta have a buddy, right? And they fought for pecking order, and they went at it. One day we show up, 2 weeks later, go home, come back. There's no more goats, bro. One of the goats' skeleton is stuck in the fence, and the other one was just gone. And I figured a cat probably drug it through the fence, and maybe the gator got the other one. I don't know, but we just said no animal. Our animals are deer and raccoons and everything else. So
there you go. Well, Graham just hopped on.
Sorry for the late arrival. How's it going, DJ?
Good, man. We're just sharing some fun stories.
Wait, what do you mean late? It's 11:01, so if I backtracked when you got on, I would say you were exactly on time. That's not late.
Yeah, I like to be early. If I'm not early, I'm late. Can't help it.
Coming from the guy who has people make his schedule for daily life for the most part during ball season.
I'm never late, though. I'll tell you that.
That's when you've arrived, bro, when you got somebody else making your schedule. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Oh. Yeah, Graham, we were talking about his place in Texas. He had a place out by Tyler.
Okay. All right. Yeah. My dad grew up in Fort Worth.
Yeah. So. That's where we lived there for 12, 15 years, man. It's a good place. Okay. Where are you at now, Graham?
I live in Nashville, right outside of Nashville, Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Okay. All right.
It's nice and cold.
It's cold right now. Our ice, my truck was supposed to get picked up tomorrow to go out to spring training, but they had to come and pick it up today because there's certain states that haven't plowed their roads, so they have to take alternate routes around them.
Yeah.
So I went from slowly packing up for 2 days to had to rush everything yesterday and get it all packed up and get ready to throw it in the truck once we're done.
Are you all taken care of out here in Arizona?
Yeah. I got a place I'm staying with two of my buddies and just ready for some warmth. Steve-O and Steer.
Oh, cool.
About that time again, man.
Are their wives and kids going to be there too?
No, they're only, so I'm not sure about Steer. I'm sure all the girls are planning out to come around the same time though, because it's the group, But Emily and Carlin are both going to come out for about 9 days, like the March 1st through the 9th, and then head back.
Nice. Hey, man, you're going to have to tell Tito that you need a few days off because our boy DJ here can hook you up with someone to go mountain lion hunting in AZ.
That'd be sick. Yeah. That'd be sick.
I was just telling him, one of our buddies, he's up in the Alpine area, up in that Unit 127 area, and at some point he had the state record for a lion, and he does all the dogs, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to do it though. Tell Tito DJ asked for permission. He was actually, I had invited Tito before CinSanity actually hired him last year to be our manager. I'm doing a whole thing with Native Nations and Native Americans in baseball, and we were going to be doing a WBC exhibition game against Team China in Tucson. They had the qualifiers, obviously I can't pay him what Cincinnati paid him, and it just didn't work out ultimately. So tell Tito I said hello, please.
I will. That's awesome.
Tito's been around forever. He knows probably everybody.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like anytime I run into like somebody that used to be a manager or a player or something, everybody either knows Tito, played for Tito, something. It's crazy.
He's well known.
It's a small
man.
world.
Yeah,
it's a small world, man.
He might have some connections. I mean, he lives in Tucson, dude. So there might be something up in Mount Lemmon he's like hook you up with, or at some point.
Is Tito a hunter?
I don't know. I don't think he is, but I mean, when you're that guy, you know everybody. Like there's gonna be hunters in the black book for him for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's like similar the hunting community and baseball community. They're both like it's a small world. Like you know a decent number of people, you pretty much know everybody. Everyone's a phone call away. That's it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So check out all the Coues deer behind him, bro. Most of them are his dad's. Dad's a slayer.
Well, let me see. Apparently. I don't know if he can see the same thing because of the bottleneck we were talking about. But check all these out, man. I only got one on the wall, like I was talking about earlier. But Pops just puts in work, dude. I mean, this is a lifetime of studying a Coues deer, and it's impressive. That's for sure.
Those are. I mean, I've only seen Coues deer a handful of times out in Arizona playing golf, and none of them are that big.
No, they're not. They're a little bad. Like a lot of people don't like hunting them because they are small rack deer. You know, especially if you're not from Arizona. Even you get into California and Nevada, you got blacktail and mule deer and stuff like that are bigger racks. But as far as a challenge, and we were talking about the Grand Slam, you know, that's something that you'd still have to go after at some point.
Yeah, I mean and
it just worked out this way. You know, me and Clayton, we did a podcast on a whole different thing the other day, and we just started talking hunting after that. He's like, "You want to be on my show?" And I showed him a picture of my dad's wall. I'm like, you know, I kind of grew up with this stuff, and it just so happened that I didn't drive here just to do it. I'm like 5 hours from home. Just happened to be here, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go over to my dad's, and he's out hunting right now, so it worked out perfect where I can get him in the background, or I would probably have him jump on at some point and say hi to everybody.
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you what's crazy is, especially out at those golf courses, there's certain areas you'll go play. And, I mean, you're in the middle of houses, and you don't think anything will be living in that area except all the rabbits and the road runners and what you normally see out there. And, there, man, I can't remember what golf course we were at, but there was a pond, and it had cattails that were maybe 20 yards wide that ran all the way around it. And next thing you know, like 5 Coues deer popped out, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. Those deer are living in that little bit of an area, and they're not coming out till about this time of day. It was pretty crazy.
That no doubt. We were talking earlier. He's like, is it kind of spot and stock like mule deer? And I'm like, man, yes, it's spot and stock, but the mule deer analogy is that, to me, we call them desert carp. Like that's how much we think it is for a damn mule deer to hunt. Like it's not a hard hunt, right? You start your kid off on a mule deer hunt because they're big, they don't get scared, they'll stay right there. Like it's just, but to find a nice Coues deer, unless you got dumb luck, I mean, you're glassing your eyeballs out into the sun, like in the shade. And they're a little animal, like you said. They're probably there watching you guys the whole time, and just so happened time to get up and shake off, or maybe the sun was going down or whatever it was. But they're a tough animal, man.
And they picked a surprising spot to live on that golf course. They're right at the back end of the driving range.
Bombs away.
No lions there. They don't have to worry about a mountain lion, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were on that podcast. So before we started it last week, he's like, "Oh, I love all the hunting stuff in the background." And then we did the podcast. And as soon as it was over, the other two guys, they were off. And he and I start talking about hunting. It was like 30 minutes later. He's like, "You got work or something, bro?" I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty much like work for me, so it's all good, cuz."
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, you want to come on the podcast?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, let's go. Let's do it."
It's just like, you know, in hunting, it's one of those things when you talk to people, you know, like, you can figure out pretty quick, like, oh, yeah, that's a real one. Dude, he was telling me this. You have to tell him the story you were telling me about driving from Arizona to your place in Texas and the public land deal.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've hunted in Texas, but like 95% of that state is private land. So there's a few state like state parks and kind of national parks that you have the opportunity to go hunt, but you're not going to really, everybody else in the state's hunting there too, right? So just so happens off the I-10, there's a couple little areas on the I-10 that I have my Onyx hunting map on, and I just like watching. I trade my wife when we drive out to the ranch that, she'll drive once we start getting into some hilly country and there's Aoudad and all that. So we switch off and I'm just kind of, we're going 80 miles an hour. I'm just kind of boom, 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 looking. All of a sudden I kind of look as we're going up this hill and I seen a white body, like in the middle of stuff that's not white. Like, it's stuck out like a sore thumb. And automatically I thought it was like an oryx or something like that. And I said, Autumn, did you see that? She's like, yeah, I seen it. I said, did it have horns? And she says, it did. And I said, well, did they go like straight up? Did they curl out? Did they go back? Like, I'm trying to get an idea of what it is I just seen, but it really doesn't matter. Like, it's actually in public land and it's an exotic, which you can hunt 365 in Texas. Like, and so, dude, we go to the next exit, flip around. I'm throwing on my boots and taking off my, my comfortable stuff. And I'm throwing on a camo top and jump out. It's like tuck and roll, got the backpack on and just hit the creek bed. And I kind of just make my way up there. It's perfect. A little bit of moisture on the ground and the wind was in my favor. And I kind of got to where I could see where they were. They weren't there. Obviously they didn't go to the highway because they were right off the highway. They didn't come towards me and I didn't see them run right. They just kind of went over the hill and there I go. I peek over the top and there's these 3 rams. I don't know what the hell they are, right? They ended up being a ram, a sheep. And I just picked the biggest one. And that dude, like, I don't know about you guys. That was the first goat that I've ever killed, like other than like the farm goat or something like that. Those dudes are so heavy. And like to cut through that, all I had was my knife. I didn't have like a Sawzall or something like that to cut through that neck joint. Have you ever guys cut a head off a goat, like a big ram? Bro, I was there 30, 40 minutes trying to get in between there. So these guys hit heads for a living. Like, this is what they do all day. So those bones are big and like, they're just, I didn't know the contour of the neck bone or whatever it was at the skull and it just took me forever, dude. So I caped them out, took some straps and took some meat. That's gotta be, other than an elk, that was the heaviest animal, like density wise. I don't know how many, I'm literally like sawing at the cape on the back of the neck where the fat is at. It's just not like a deer, bro. Like, it took me forever and a day to get that thing ready to get out of there. And it was the heaviest backpack I've ever had, dude. And a good thing I only had like 200 yards to go to get it out of there. But what an experience. And that thing didn't end there. Like, now I got to get the cape off the skull. And these things stink to high heaven, dude. Like, it is now 2 years later. My dad's a taxidermist too. That's one of his deals he does now. And I got to have it in the garage at the ranch still to this day. I'm not putting it inside yet until that thing just like stops reeking. He bought some stuff I think called like Kaboom or something like that, and we ozonated it. You better be sure you really want to kill that goat, like, if you want a goat. Luckily for me, it actually was a gold medal goat. It was a Catalina goat. I had no idea what that was at the time, but in Texas, dude, it's such a cool deal. You just never know what you're gonna get. I'm at my ranch and it's a fallow one day, an axis, a black buck. You just don't know what's coming across. So it's just a great hunter's paradise down there.
Yeah, I've driven from Tennessee to Arizona like 4 times. I went the south route one time, and then the past 3 times I've gone up north through Amarillo. Yeah, and I've gotten lucky the past 2 times because I've never seen pronghorn before. And the first time I drove through there, I only saw like 4 or 5. But this last year when I drove through there, I saw a herd of like 30 of them off the highway. Yeah, and I was about this close to wanting to pull over just to get my binoculars out and sit there and zoom in on them just to get a good glass at them. But it's crazy. You get in that flat country, for one, the wind's insane out there in the flats. But it's awesome. That drive is something special when you get up towards on the other side of Amarillo, getting into Arizona and all that. It's awesome.
Yeah. And the pronghorn, of all the things I have a plethora of preference points for, is the one you probably need the least amount of preference points for, and that's antelope for Wyoming.
Really? And still haven't hit it, huh?
Oh, no, I just haven't executed. Like, they're just sitting there waiting for me. I just keep putting in every year. Like, all right, I get another preference point. But I'm like, this year I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, I really probably ought to go do that this year. Just go, and I don't care whether it's with a bow or a gun, because I've never really hunted out west. Just just to do it. Like that's like the ultimate like beginner's hunt for out west hunting is an antelope. Like they're just flat, free range, nomadic herds. You just drive through public land up and down the road till you find one, and you put the stalk on them, and you're either successful or you're not. So I think I might end up doing that this fall.
I've heard pronghorn's really good eating too.
Yeah, my uncle says that. I haven't had any. My dad, I guess I don't even know. He never offered me any at the time. I didn't even think about it. But he's harvested a nice pronghorn. But I have got a black buck, which is a antelope in Africa, right? But in Texas, and it's really good eating. And so I'm in Prescott, Graham. So whatever, I got a place in Surprise too, so we can maybe hang out or something if you want. But we got a ton of antelope up north. I mean, I've seen, I want to say a herd of like 200 at one point, right? And there's like 9 tags for my unit. I put in again this year. But those things are amazing. Like there's some hikes that we have, and since there's so many up there, like fun facts, right? Like they're not antlers, they're like hair that falls off, like their hair that hardens, all that kind of stuff. But the one thing I didn't know about these guys is I don't think they really have to worry about any predator. I mean, these dudes can run apparently like, I don't know, 27 miles an hour for like 5 miles straight and never like drop their velocity in running. And like, a lion, he better be really, really close in the weeds to get him, because after 70 yards, he's done. These dudes just run for 5 miles straight, man. It's impressive what these things do.
What's the non-resident tag situation like out there for Arizona?
It's changed up for archery anyway. I know that, and I know they've cut back on some of the rifle stuff. But I mean, I'm on a resident side, so I don't.
Yeah, like Arizona's one of those states that it's like hard to draw for most big game.
Yeah, it is.
If you're not a resident.
Especially like an elk or these Coues, Coues, they're all like that. And especially out by the strip, if you want to get a big monster muley out in that area, and that's good luck. Or like a bighorn sheep, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity also. So
I don't know, DJ. What I'm hearing right now is you haven't killed a pronghorn, and sounds like, and I haven't either. Sounds like we should do an.
Sounds like we need it. Well, I put in. You got to put in. You better hurry, because we're almost done here for this pronghorn hunt in Arizona. Oh. Come out, stay with me.
When's the deadline? Feb 1st?
I think so. Yeah, I already done it. So yeah.
Well, I guess I'll be doing that when we hop off this call.
Yeah, put in 19A and B is right where I'm at. So 8 is also a decent one, and the Baquias, I don't know, what is that? Is that 10? Maybe 10. You call me later. We'll go through it. I got the regulations on the couch anyway.
So Zach, who couldn't make it, he's the one of the 4 of us that keeps the Excel spreadsheet for all the states, for all the big game preference points and application periods, and make sure he puts in for all of them. I hunt more than most. I mean, Jay probably hunts more than me, but like I don't know why. I've just never kept up with that part of it, even though I have a desire to do it. Like I want to do it, but I always have so much going on, I don't even think about it. Like my big thing is like making sure I get the preference points for Iowa for whitetail deer, right? Like that. And then Wyoming, I put in for the antelope because at the same time I'm putting in for elk in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Like both of those states, it's going to take like 7 years worth of preference points before you get what you want.
Which is why I'm in the perfect business, because I can't ever go do any elk hunts or anything.
That's
like
what
that.
I was telling. I'm always texting them in the spring. I'm like, hey, deadline for this application period. Put in for your preference points. That way you're stocked up when you retire.
Yeah, because we're trying to plan it out to where once baseball's done, it's like, all right, we're going on an elk hunt. We're going to go out there for like 15 days and just...
And then he's fully loaded on preference points. He gets whatever state, whatever unit he wants.
You know what? That's not a bad strategy. Like honestly, when I was playing, I wasn't smart enough to think of that. So here's my deal, right? We call it the trophy hunt for the elk. It's the early season rifle hunt. Like obviously, if you get bow, that's great too. But I put in my whole playing career, bro. Like I don't know, 15 years I put in for that damn thing, and I got drawn for it finally one time. And you want to guess when that one time was? The only time we made it to the damn playoffs with the White Sox, and I had to eat that damn tag. So literally, Jim Tomey is on my team, big hunter. Like Jim's an amazing human being, and he had like timeshare for jet service. You know what I'm talking about, like where you can buy how many hours. And Jim's like, dude, you cannot miss that hunt. And I'm like, I know, Jim, but Ozzy's not letting me go. Like we got 3 days off, right, like before the playoffs, and he's like, I'll give you my time, and I just looked into. Can I fly into Alpine and get this done and get back? Like, it wasn't going to happen, man. And Ozzy wasn't going to let me take 3 days off. And so I had to eat that tag, and I've never gotten anything close to it again. Other than bow hunts in New Mexico, I got some of those. But, start putting in for your points now, bro.
Yeah, your luck. The 1 year you make like a World Series run, the same thing will happen to you, Graham.
Yeah.
Wherever you're at in your career, whatever team, you'll like get this coveted tag and you'll be all jacked up, like sweet, and then you'll be on a team of like, oh, well, you're going smooth to the World Series. Might as well forget about that one, homie.
Yep.
Well, and then too, Graham, like, save that money up or whatever. And I have some connections here with. You can also go on the Indian reservation, like San Carlos, White Mountain, Apache. There is some monster elk there. So, that's always
Is that tag different for the reservation than it is the rest of the state?
Yes, it is. You got to go through the tribe for it.
Is that what they call the presidential tags?
No, so remember I called it the governor tag, Clayton, earlier?
The governor tag.
Yeah.
That's what we call it. Now it's like a super tag or something. It's before you could buy a tag, like they'll auction to the highest bidder, you get a tag to go wherever kind of deal for the state. And now it's like $10 entry, and I don't know how many thousands of people for each species. But I was telling them that my dad's not here. He's hunting right now because his wife actually got the Coues deer tag this year. She got drawn out of whatever 8,000 people that put in for it. She has the tag. So now they got 365 days to go hunt. And they're in southern Arizona right now looking for a big Coues deer. But on the Indian reservation, you can buy a tag there too. So
it's just a high price tag.
Yeah, it's high.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
Graham, you better pitch real well and get some of those.
That's what I was
bonuses,
saying.
buddy.
Save up some money every year. Get that licensing check and put a little bit of that towards this hunt, bro.
Oh yeah.
Your slush fund. Oh shoot. Yeah, man. I know. Like I've seen videos of like Michael Waddell going out. I don't know if it was Arizona or New Mexico, doing like elk hunts on the reservations and stuff.
Yeah. Good time.
So that's pretty sweet, dude. Yeah. Where's your place at? Go ahead, Greg.
I was just gonna say, so Coues deer, like having 365 days to hunt, are they like whitetails? I mean, I'm sure they drop their horns the same, right? Like so is it one of those things where it's just kind of like you go out, you find your herd or where they're at, and then you just kind of watch them and find one that you want, or is it just wait till they have hard horn and then go out?
Yeah, I mean, if you got this tag, you can do that. Just find the bachelor groups and find the big boy, and they can shoot it at any point right now, right? What I was saying is it's really hard to get a whitetail in velvet just because the hunting dates don't line up in Arizona for that. So if it was me, I'd be out hunting every day anyways and just trying to find a monster. If he's hard horn, great, cool. But like it would be really cool to what you're talking about, kind of identify this deer. And right now, so they're not like your back east whitetail because this is towards the end of their rut now. They start in like early January now to rut. So that doesn't help like our Arizona hunting dates because rifle season's already over. And then they do have a bow season now, but now they've limited tags. So again, to get a Coues deer with a bow, like this time of the year, good luck, man. If you can get the early August hunt where they're over water, you have a chance on that. That's kind of the best time you'll have, but they're nocturnal, man. I mean, the big bucks, they know better. So it isn't that much of the same with like, Midwest whitetail or East whitetail.
Okay.
Yeah, I would probably hold out for that velvet.
Yeah, that's hard.
We're in Kentucky. Graham and I own part of the same farm, but like that's one of the few states where the whitetail season opens early enough. You got to crack at one in velvet. And bro, I had like a 170 inch class deer,
Damn.
like slip right through my fingertips in full velvet 2 years ago. I mean, like you could not have a deer pegged better than I had this deer pegged. I could just about tell you what time he was going to show up and what days it was going to be. Like, I mean, it was to the point where like opening day came. I was like, you watch, he's going to be in there this morning in daylight. And I was like, if he's there this morning in daylight, he's going to be there tonight in daylight. And he was there that morning, and it was like 69 degrees is a high, which is like one of the coolest opening days we've had ever, because this is first Saturday in September. I told my dad, I said, because I was like, we had corn in there and stuff. I was like, look, man, it's going to stink, but there's a box blind in there. I'm going to be bored as heck, but at lunchtime, we're going to run the corn like we normally do. I'm going to roll out the side, climb up in that blind. You're going to put the corn out, and then you're going to go. And then I'm just going to sit there for 4 hours and wait until it's game time, right? And I did, and even though it was 69 degrees, and I figured being in that box blind, 69 degrees, I'll be all right. Nope. She was sitting in the sun, and I was baking like a rotisserie chicken, dude. It was like a sauna in that thing. But like an hour and a half before dark, here he comes. I'm like, oh, he came out. He was quartering to, and then as he started to turn broadside, I opened the window because he was starting to turn broadside, but he stopped through his turn, so I still wasn't comfortable with the shot. But as soon as I opened that window, there was no wind, so it's light and variable, and the thermals are falling at that point. So I knew I had a timer about 30 seconds before he got a swirl of my wind. And he did. He looked up, he started stomping, he hopped off like another 10 yards. I got him stopped, and I shot, but he was on such high alert, he ducked the arrow so bad it just backstrapped him. I mean, he lived after that, but like, dude, it was like, I mean, it was a 25-yard shot where he was standing originally, and then when I actually shot him was 35 yards, but like right through my fingertips. I mean, he was a stud.
And then we think a neighbor about a mile and a half away or so.
I think so, but
I mean, I
think they got him this year because it was a weird story the way it played out. Like, he showed back up a month later on our place after I shot him. He was around, and then early November, this old big-bodied bully buck with a bad attitude started showing up, and this deer started showing up less frequent. And then I was hunting up there one day in that area, and I heard this big clash between two mature deer, because you could tell based on the sounds of their antlers when they hit together, right? And I was like, ooh, I wonder if that was my big deer and then that bully buck. And then that big deer, after I heard that, I never saw him again. He never showed up on a single camera, nothing.
The last day we had him on camera was November 24th that year. And he was going the direction towards that other farm where this kid ended up killing him.
Damn. Did you see the kid post it or something like that, or heard about it?
Our neighbors, like, someone killed this over on such and such a road, and I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, it looks a lot like a deer I shot last year. Because his G2, he had this little banana curl off the back. Like, the frame, everything was identical to the year before. I'm going to look for this photo for you.
You talk about a 25-yard shot. A couple years ago, we had I got drawn for elk in Montana, right? And me and my dad have always talked about Montana. They've seen it on TV, never went. Like, we got to go now. Like, we're going to go do it. He had a buddy that through the network that was going to, put a spike camp up, and we're going to hang out. He's going to show us all this and that and go do everything. And I'm shooting bow constantly here. I mean, I was 70 yards through like a coffee can diameter, whatever that is, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 diameter, just money, right? And an old Z7 Matthews that's just tried and true and just feels good. And had it in a hard case, and we drive to Montana, all the way to Montana. And we're hiking. Dude, we're putting in like 6 to 12 miles a day up in I guess they call them the crazies. And these are crazy. Like, it's rocky and it's slaty and it's down timber. And I got bad knees and I'm like scared as shit. It takes me twice as long to get down any hill, because I'm just like super worried. Like, my knees, like, I've had dislocations several times, right? And I'm like, this is not fun. I can't imagine if I kill an elk, how this is going to be. Like, we need to, I'm going through all these other things versus like enjoying the hunt more than. And so we're calling, and everything is like a dink, bro. Everything is a raghorn, just a dink bull. And it's just like, I'm putting in the work. I'm enjoying it, being with Pops, taking some cool pictures here and there, having some good lunches. And we get about 8 miles up one day off this trail. You got to go way up there. And I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, but what if we actually kill something way up here? Like, this is 4 trips with a couple, right? Like, that guy he went with us the first day, and then there's no mules, there's no horses. Like, he didn't go with us after that. His legs were hurting, right? And anyways, he calls in, which is probably about a 250 bull, the biggest bull we've seen. And I'm like, well, like, I don't want to shoot him this high up, but I'm not going to see anything bigger. We don't really know anywhere else to go. And, he's making his way on the side of the hill, kind of stopping, looking over. My dad's calling behind me. He's got this cow, foldable, like, cow that pops up, and he's freaking hot and heavy on this cow and kind of goes down in the creek bed. And I'm not sure if he sees me because he's looking through me, but I'm like, he probably did see me. Like, I'm just so far up, I can't blow this one, right? And so he goes down in the creek bed. So I changed locations to where it's going to be somewhere different. So if he comes up and he looks there, I'm not there. This bull's 25 yards from me by the time he stops and looks up at my dad, and I'm full draw and I shoot, and I don't hear anything. He doesn't act like it hit him. He just kind of hears that went over him right at that time. And I'm like, how in the world did I just miss this bull at 25 yards? I mean, this thing's huge, right? Like, you guys know what a big bull elk looks like.
Yep.
And he takes off, and I'm just like, I don't know. It wasn't like buck fever kind of deal, or was it? Because I've never had it. Is this what it's like? Is this what everybody talks about? Like, he was right. I aimed everything up, and I'm getting shit from my dad and my buddy talking smack. You know, how in the hell did you? I don't know. Like, I can't even talk smack back. Like, bury me, guys, because I'm about to bury myself. You got a shovel? Like, I don't know how I missed a bullet 25 yards. And so we just go. I'm like, I'm done for the day. I'm so pissed off. And we get back to camp, and he's like, get your bow on the target and let's go shoot. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I pull back at 20 yards on the target, and it's not an animal anymore. I missed this dang target by 3 feet high at 20 yards. I'm like, what just happened? This thing was in a hard case this whole time, right? Like, no, I'm carrying it. I never dropped my bow. I never did anything like that. I started looking at it, and apparently on the cam, there was like a screw that was backing out, and it would keep hitting the limb every time. And so the timing would kick it off. And I'm like, how? But the last shot here in Arizona, where I messed up, is I should have shot again at camp. That's where I screwed up, right? But I figured, dude, I've just shot, 150 arrows the last 3 days. I'm good to go. And so there we go, off to town and get it fixed. Missed the whole day of hunting. Like, we're 60 miles from the nearest town. And I never did shoot an elk that time, dude. And so it was just like one of those things where I should have known better, right? I should know better to do that. But then at the end of the day, I'm like, I can shoot way bigger elk in Arizona. It's nowhere near as treacherous terrain. And I love my Montana trip, but never again am I going back to Montana to hunt elk, bro. No way.
So you got your phone. I sent you these pictures, but that's the deer.
Oh, yeah. Let me look here firsthand. Golly, man. What a heartbreak.
I mean, stud.
Yes.
It was a hammer.
Wow.
And that same year, me and him could have had over 300 inches of horn put on the ground and within 2 deer if I didn't have a stand kick on me when I was full
both
draw.
ate a bag of donuts. So did my dad. Oh, yeah. My dad had one too.
We would have had almost like 500 inches of horn on the ground within 3 deer.
Bro, on 250 acres, we had 5 shooters, 3 of which were 160 or better, and all 3 of us spit the bit somehow. It was like the worst, best year ever.
Let me hear the other 2 stories about Pops and yourself.
I mean, it was what, Clayton? 2 weeks before we started hunting, we had this giant 8 with a drop tine come out. He was probably 150, 155 inches. I mean, so I was hot and heavy after this deer. I went up, I had a saddle stand. I went and put it up down in this draw because the thermals would pull right there. And so I went out there day one. I had young 8-point come out, young 6-point, bunch of does running. Had a buck chasing a doe in there. Never saw the big one, and so I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go back tomorrow afternoon. And I was like, it's gonna happen. I go out, had deer come by me at like 3:30, and just so you know, like this farm, the does come out to these acorn trees to feed every day at like 4 o'clock.
Because they're in the middle of a pasture, so it's like they're giant oaks, so the mass production on them is ridiculous.
Yeah, and so I get out there, 3:30, I have those does come by. It was like 6 of them. I was like, oh, this is going to be the day. I'm about to be covered up with deer. 4 o'clock hits, nothing. 4:30 hits, nothing. And I just told myself, I was like, you know what? By 5 o'clock, if I'm not seeing anything, I'm going to try to make something happen. I'm going to pull the rattle bag out and hit the horns together. Didn't see nothing by 5 o'clock. I pull the rattle bag out, start going to town on it. I mean, I'm dropping my rattle bag back into my backpack. I look up. I have 2 does come running off the hill up on the right with the little 6-point behind them. 4 more does. And then I just see this giant 8 coming. I mean, it was almost like a postcard picture. He comes running down the side, and he comes running by. He goes to this acorn tree where these does are at, like 90 yards behind me. And I pull my grunt tube out. I grunted. He didn't pay a lick of attention. He was around there scent checking those does. Well, he stopped and started feeding. And I was like, all right. I was like, he's either going to react to it this time or he's not. He's back over my right shoulder. I face to the left. I grunt twice, put the grunt tube back down. I look back at him. He feeds for like 5 more seconds, picks his head up, looks my way, and then just comes walking down this tree line. And I have a wall of cedars that's about 30 yards long right next to me that he couldn't see through. I mean, he was at 15 yards at one point from me. And he comes walking by, and he's probably 5 yards away from getting into this opening. I draw back. I go to lean around my saddle stand. He gets 1 foot in the opening, and my stand goes on a piece of bark. And he takes one big leap up to where he was about 33 yards away, and all I could see was the front right part of his brisket. And I was like, mentally, I was like, I'm not trying to thread the needle on a deer of this caliber. Like, this would be the biggest deer I've ever killed. And so I put my arrow back down, and he just turns and walks back to those does. And my stomach dropped. I mean, that was the most buck fever I've ever had. My right leg was just sitting here shaking. I mean, my whole tree was doing this.
Yeah. How about your pops? What was his deal?
That would have been a few days. So, like 3 days after Graham had that happen, we had a front come through, and the rain was supposed to quit at like 10 o'clock. I had to take a deer to the processor, a doe. I was like, all right, I'll get back. I'll be in that stand by 9:30. There's a scrape line in there that deer likes. He's going to come in and hit that scrape line as soon as that rain quits. I'm driving back from the processor, and the rain quit like 30 minutes early on me. I was like, oh no. I went and checked my Tacticam, and sure enough, that deer was there as soon as the rain quit, but it was 30 minutes early, so my whole game plan was off by 30 minutes because the rain quit early. I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me, dude. So then a few days after that, I was like, Dad, you need to go in there. They're not locked down yet. The deer's going to come back through on the scrape line. And I was on the next ridge over. And I heard something. I'm like, that sounded like him shooting. And I texted him, did you shoot? He goes, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. he had to make a really quick decision, no time to range it. You know, it was 25 yards. He misjudged it just a little bit and skinned it right underneath. And it was a few days after that, the neighbor killed him opening of rifle season, but you could see where my dad hit him under the brisket, and it was all infected and everything. So it's a good thing my neighbor did kill him, because I don't think that deer would have survived with that infection that he had going on. But yeah, dude, and then later that year I had a late season hunt. There was another mature deer, and it was another rainstorm, and I'm hunting with a black powder rifle. And the deer, if I'd had a crossbow, I'd have killed him, or a regular bow, I'd have killed him. Either of those two, but I had that black powder rifle, and because it was wet, the powder got wet, and it was a slow powder burn, and that one went through. I'm like, dude, how could you be right this many times in a season on a mature buck and still not have one on the ground?
Clayton was snake bit that year.
Just hearing stories reminds me of stories, but I want to touch on, I found in Texas, when I hunt, not Arizona, but in Texas, the deer love the rain out there, man. The overcast, the moisture, the fog, the sprinkle and the rain. I see so many more deer during rain, that I don't see other times unless you're just patterning them or something like that.
I call it there's those certain days you walk outside and it's like that. It can't be a hard downpour, but that misty rain, right? That is demoralizing if you sit in it all day for you. But I call that big buck killing weather.
It is.
You might not see all the deer, but you'll see the big boys.
That's what I've kind of figured out. You got to put on the frog tog or whatever you got that's waterproof and get your butt out there on those days. And then the other one I was going to ask you that I never do, but I've seen it and I've kind of read about it, is I've never done rattling, man. I mean, is it 50-50 chance? Does it always work, or what do you got?
Where are you at? I mean, Texas.
I'm out west, though. Texas, yeah, you could do that there, too. I've just never
Texas is a great state for it. I mean, what's your property like? You got a bunch of mesquite and stuff?
Yeah, there's cedar. There's a little bit of mesquite. There's some cactus there. There's oaks. It's a good mix in hill country. There's rubs. I see rubs everywhere, but yeah.
Texas, to me, Texas, Kansas, Oklahoma, those are the three best states for rattling and getting a mature deer to come in. Where we're at, it's harder because the deer density is so high, right? There's so many does, they don't have to compete as much where we're at in Kentucky. But you cross the river into Ohio where the deer density is lower and the bucks have to compete more for the does, the deer are way more aggressive, way more vocal.
Okay.
It's totally different.
That makes sense. Yeah, I wonder, and on our circles, my dad's never rattled. I've never heard of any of our buddies for the Coues deer rattling. So that's probably why I do find
I would give it a shot in Texas. It is fun, but you got to know, you got to be smart about it too. You got to be set up in a place that, how much do you turkey hunt?
My dad does more than I do, but I'll turkey hunt every year. I'll kill a turkey.
Okay, so when you're calling the turkeys, you kind of want to get set up. If you get a bird that gobbles, you kind of want to get set up to. He's got to walk around some kind of terrain feature to see you, and at that point, he's in range, right? Same thing with rattling. Like if you're hunting with a bow, think turkey hunting. You need to get some kind of terrain feature that makes that deer. He can't see where that rattling sound came from, so he has to come look. You know what I mean? Like throwing it out in a big wide open field.
Yeah.
No, but if it's like a field and it's got like mesquite or cedar scattered in it to where they got to go and look and search, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
It's a lot like turkey hunting.
I got to try it at some point. You know what's like turkey hunting too for deer is axis hunting. It's like elk hunting, I guess. They just don't. They roar more than they do bugle. Same kind of deal. Like, and you could do that. And you talked about earlier, Graham. Like they drop their horns every year, and it's sporadic. Like it's not all the deer at the same time. It's 365 days a year. Somebody can be dropping a horn, the other one's hard horn. Like, and so they're always calling year round. So you can kind of target where they're at or call them in and stuff like that. So that's a fun one. But I still never rattled for them.
So axis deer isn't like the times I've seen people hunt in Texas. It's more like March, isn't it?
There is the majority during spring, but all year they're going, bro. Like I was there in November, and they sound like a hawk screeching, as if the kind of the closest thing I can put it to. But in spring, there tends to be more of them going after it, but it's year round.
Bro, I just like the idea of having big game I can hunt in the spring, like
all
Kentucky,
year round.
Like it's September to January. That's it.
I know that's and before I bought my place in Texas, that was the deciding factor to me, not to go. Like I have played for the Royals, right? Like there's a lot of buddies there. I go hunt in Platte County, and should I get land out here? There's some big old dang whitetail out there, but I'm like, I can hunt 365. Like I'll go for my birthday in April, go hunt turkey, hogs, axes, fallow, whatever I want, right? It's turkey season, so it's good to go. And whenever I get I want to just break away and go do a week. I'll just go to the ranch now, and now I'm outside of San Antonio area in Hill Country, and it's therapy for me. I don't even have to shoot anything. I just want to be out there with the rifle and just kind of seeing what's around. And if I see a pig, I'll shoot him all the time. But.
Yeah, that's what's nice about having the farm only 45 minutes away from Cincinnati is just like. I'll tell the wife, be like, hey, I'm just going to go cut the grass at the farm. Yeah. I'll be back in a couple hours.
I wish I had that when I was playing. That would be nice, man.
Yeah, you need to use it more, though, homie.
Yeah, it's hard when you got a baby, man.
Bro, I'll never forget last year. It was like March. It was beginning of ball season. And when the neighbor, like the dogs were getting on your neighbor's nerves or something. And the one day Emily was just like over it, and she's like, "That's it. I'm taking the dogs and the baby to the farm so the dogs can just go freaking run around."
Mm-hmm. Get them out, burn it loose. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and of course they saw a bunch of turkeys while they were out there. That's part of the course. So I'm guessing you got Rios on your place then.
Yeah.
Are they pretty stupid?
There's some big gobblers there, and there's a ton of turkey there though. Like in East Texas, I heard turkey 3 times while I lived there, and I didn't even go hunt there because it was so just thin population. Some people say it was the fire ants or the pigs or whatever that they couldn't nest on the ground and have their eggs. So I would just always go back outside of Fort Worth. I had some buddies in Mineral Wells area and all of that kind of stuff that we would just slay turkeys there too. Which was funny. My dad came out one year, I think I was still playing, and I had like this old Jetta, diesel Jetta, like an 06 Jetta that it was our hoopty we ran around with in the minor leagues, and I just kept it because it was worth more than what I would get, selling this thing. And I took my dad to the ranch the first day. No, I was scouting. That's what it was. I was scouting with the Dodgers, and I was doing the Rangers. And he takes my Jetta out, bro. That first morning, he's got a trash bag all laid out, got the turkey all cleaned out, he's got the gobble and the feathers and everything hanging out in the trunk of this Jetta pulling up, dude. I thought it was great. And he's got, I don't want to take the laptop over there to our reloading room and everything, but he's got 3 or 4 turkeys hanging up there that are beautiful. He just needs the oscillated? Is that how you say it? Oscillated turkey down in Mexico? That's the only one he needs left for the Grand Slam.
Yeah, I've killed an Osceola and an Eastern. I've not killed a Miriam's or a Rio yet.
Yeah, well, there we go. Now you know where they're at.
Yeah, gotta hit Connor up for the Miriams. He can get you on them up in Colorado.
listen, buddy, let's go kill some turkeys. Look, I love deer hunting. I don't think anything will surpass it as number one on my list for favorite species to hunt. But it used to be almost all deer hunting. I didn't turkey hunt much. Then I got really into turkey hunting. It's just such a different experience because you're like not going your separate ways in the morning, right? You can hang out. We can sit here and have a conversation like this, and they start gobbling. It's like, oh, shut up. Yeah. You kill one, and they're like, oh, that was sick, because it happens fast and it's action-packed, especially on mine and Graham's place. Like the sheer volume of turkeys on 250 acres for Easterns is ridiculous. I don't know how long that's going to last, but I'm going to enjoy every second of it while it does. Like, you'll have to come experience it, bro. Like, it's one of those places, that dizzy bat game they play where you put your nose on it and they spin you around. I always tell people, I could go put you in the middle of my farm in the field, make you do that, and then whatever direction you come up looking, just say start walking, and you'll run into one.
That's awesome.
Especially since we added that other 100 acres to it. I mean, we have, during deer season, we'll have two groups of like 20 gobblers together in two separate fields that are separated by, 200 acres away from each other?
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
Just bearded out, too, huh? Tripping over beards.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I had both the birds I killed this year, like, we got our tail whooped the first 3 days of season, and then it was the day after we did the crawfish boil. Jay and Byron, our two buddies, killed two down on the river. One of them was a 4-bearded turkey, but we were literally sitting next to the cabin taking pictures at 12:30 in the afternoon, and one gobbled behind the cabin. We slipped down in the woods. 15 minutes later, I had him dead.
There you go.
And then the next morning, there was a bird on the other side that was giving us the runaround a couple days before. I was like, I know what you do now. So I went to the normal field. Nothing happened right away. So I was like, I'm just going to get in the truck and drive around the other side. I got in the truck and I drove around the other side. As soon as I got out, he gobbled on his own. I was like, oh, I got you, sucker. I went hauling tail back that field. I set up, called once. 10 minutes later, he was in the decoys and done. I was like, now we're back to cooking with peanut oil.
Have you done Gould's turkey at all? Have you got one of them out here? Look them up. They're a big old boy. I know where I'm at in Safford, Mount Graham is right. It's a beautiful. We're like at the base of a 12,000 foot mountain here, 10,000 foot. And there's some big turkeys up there you ought to look into. Yeah, it's kind of one of those start putting in now, getting your points deal if you want to have that slam, turkey grand slam.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know if I'm as hung up on the grand slam as I am just experiencing
having the fun.
Different states, right, and terrain features. And for turkey hunting, I really like the Easterns on our farm, and I like the idea of Rios because I like stupid turkeys. Stupid turkeys make it really fun.
Yeah.
Like, Rios are retarded, dude.
You'd have fun out here in New Mexico. Some of these deals, like these turkeys are literally flying across, a small canyon to get back over here. So you get to see them in flight coming into you, walking around junipers and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's
good time.
Yeah, dude. It's I don't know. It's all fun, right? Yeah. That's why we do it.
In the hills, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to those 2 off days during turkey season this year.
Last year you only had the 1 off day, didn't you?
Yeah, and this year it's actually kind of right in the smack dab of the beginning of season.
Are you home? You're not on the road?
Yeah, we're home.
Oh, good.
We're home both days.
Good. So the way this works, DJ, is Graham doesn't know his schedule, but his old buddy Clayton here is always looking out for him well in advance. And as soon as the Reds release the schedule, I'm like, going into April, I'm like, where's that off day for homestand?
Because he acts like that, but he's looking it up because he wants to fly up so that way we can hunt together.
Yeah. Listen, you can say that all you want, but I've been doing this for a decade, buddy. I usually go up for 2 or 3 weeks, and that's all I'm doing is sitting there watching them turkeys. And then have people come in, we hunt. DJ, you'll have to come sometime because it's a freaking blast. Like, I mean, I can't tell you how many birds I could have, you could turkey hunt our farm by sitting on the front porch drinking coffee.
Wow, yeah.
And you can kill one sitting there, too.
I've done it before. I've strutter crawled out of the cabin to kill them. They'll be like 100 yards out in front of the cabin, and I'll park the truck in front of the cabin. That way it's strategic, so then I can lay on the floor of the cabin, open the door, and then I belly crawl with the strutter and my gun through the gravel driveway, down the little grassy knoll, across the other gravel driveway, out into the field, and they come running in. Bam!
Graham, you got any fishing on your place up there in Cincinnati as well, outside?
No, I mean we have some.
We have a bass pond and a koi fish pond.
Yeah, but you might catch something about that big off of it. It ain't.
I was gonna say, a good buddy of mine, he's on staff with you now. Willie Harris is gonna be there with you guys, and he's a big.
Okay.
He loves fishing. I don't know if he hunts so much, but he's a big time fisherman. Good old boy. And my other buddy J.R. House actually just left with the Diamondbacks. Now we played together back in the minor leagues. I'm dating myself by all that now, but tell Willie I said hello over there and try and get him out fishing if you can at some point.
Oh, I will for sure. I'll have to get him hooked up with Jay.
Yeah, the other guy that does this podcast with us, that's the firefighter that's working today, he's got a bass boat. He knows.
Oh, there
he
you
knows
go.
some holes.
Yep, that's a good connection then.
Yeah, there's definitely some fishing holes. We can hook him up. That's like I always, I tell people, I'm like for a lot of people, not just Graham, but I'm like the gateway drug for hunting and fishing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to be such a place. You know anyone? I'm like, hold on, let me look.
That was a couple years ago. We had an off day in Boston. I was like, Clayton, I know you know a lot of guys up here. Get me hooked up with somebody so I can go fishing.
Yeah. So I got him hooked up Cape Cod.
Have you done any of the smallmouth up there in Detroit? You playing the Tigers at all?
No. We had an off day up there this past year, and a lot of the guys wanted to go golfing at Oak Hills.
Go do the smallmouth, bro. They're fun.
Yeah, skip that golf crap, bro.
Golf anyway.
I'm kicking myself because Wade Miley, he went and they caught. I mean, he said they caught like 60 to 80 smallies, and they were like averaging like 4 pounds, and I was like, God, dog, man.
So
but he didn't have any room in the boat. I tried to finagle my way in there.
Hey, you know what we got to try and do also is I got a buddy outside of St. Louis. He's a big Cardinals guy, and but this dude has like 4, I don't know, probably like 6 different ranches, but there's like 4 monster rock quarries that are now just the best bass fishing I've ever experienced in my life. Like, he carries a pitch clicker, dude, and like I think in an hour we slayed 73 bass, and every one of them was over 5 pounds. They're footballs, bro. There's bait balls everywhere in this thing, and like I'd take a picture of my thumb, and it's just raw, right? It's just Paul Faust is his name, and you will love him. Like, I don't have to be there; he'll take you in, and you could probably get some amazing footage of that stuff too if you really want to like put it down. He's joke teller, smack talker, like he's great, dude, and he's been around all the ball players, so you don't have to worry about like creeper kind of guy. He's just a down to home, loves sharing that experience with everybody, and monster whitetail and duck hunting too.
I think Graham's pitching a tent right now. Like, say no more.
Yeah.
Give him a reason to look forward to going to St. Louis.
Footballs, I'm telling you. So if the schedule works, something like that, I mean, you know, day game, night game, or something like that, dude, you gotta experience.
Well, they're in our division too, so we go there twice a year.
Yeah.
And so I have to look to see if we have an off day up there.
Oh, Zach.
He's already planning his day game, getting to deer hunt in September. He's like, "There's no off days in September at home." I was like, "Nope."
The schedule screwed me this year in September, man. Last year I had one off day to go out hunting, and it rained that day, and I was just like, you know what? I don't care. I could not see anything. I just need to go get in the woods and get away from everything.
Well, we got lucky. I was like at the farm. I flew up because I was like, I fly up and hunt for 3 days. I'll hunt with you one day. And I was sitting there and I was texting. I'm like, I don't know, man. I was like, we might get lucky. There was like a 2 or 3 hour window where it didn't rain. And then like as soon as dark hit, she opened up.
I was sitting in the stand. I just had drip water driplets just off the brim of my hat, and I was like, "This is great."
I do know one thing. I don't know a lot, but I do know one thing: you can't kill anything from the couch, man. Well, maybe in your case, if a turkey's right there in the front yard, you can open the door or something. But
yeah, but you still got to get off the couch.
Got to get there. Yeah, you just got to get out, man. No doubt.
Yeah, that's the other part I like that he doesn't get to experience yet. That I know that Graham kind of wishes he could is like the farm work, like the prep work before season, like planting food plots, hanging stands, all that stuff. Like that's fun too in its own right. Like the more you hunt, the more you learn to appreciate the whole process, not just the successful harvest part of it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the only time I got to do that was when I was growing up, when I was in middle school and high school and stuff. And I mean, that was some of the best times going out with my dad and our buddies and going out, taking the weed eater and the hand tiller and doing the whole thing. I mean, I remember when I was younger, I would be climbing up saplings just so we could bend it over to cut the top of them off.
It's like a chess game, just having all the strategy. That's fun. And some of that, like out here out west, don't have to do a lot of that, but there's still strategy to it all, right?
Yeah, but there's more chess on the actual hunt than there is with whitetail, because like once you figure out where you're going that day and you're in, like it's not as much of a chess match throughout the day while you're sitting in your stand. But what you're doing, the whole day is the chess match, right?
Yeah. And I mean, they both have their points of relaxing and work and thinking and luck and just enjoyment, right? There's just the views that we get on some of these canyons when we hike ridges, dude, and you oversee the stuff that you can't see is just gorgeous, right? Like it's, and then to see that monster buck or not, that's fine too at sometimes. So.
Well, I'll never forget. I was a kid. I think I was like in 8th grade. We were in Hawaii on vacation, and my mom wanted to go. I can't remember the mountain there. I think it's Haleakala. And she wanted to go to the top to catch the sunrise. And we had to get up like super early. You're on vacation. You drive to several hours to the top of this mountain. We get up there, and we're like, she's like, oh, excited. She's like, goes to my dad, like, and I was like, why aren't you guys as excited? I'm like, we see this every day we go hunting. Like, we see the sunrise all the time. Like, even now, like, I can sleep in if I want, but I get up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock every day. You know why? Because I get a couple hours of working, because that's like what you're doing when you're hunting. Yeah. And like, I feel like I've got a half day behind me, full head of steam, while everyone else is just getting their day started. You know, you get that sense of accomplishment getting up early too.
And that's what I tell people all the time, though, too. Like a lot of the guys that I play with, you know, there's some guys that have never hunted in their life, and they're very interested in it. And like, I always tell them, like, yeah, like when you hear the stories of me telling about hunting, like you hear the stuff about me seeing a deer, killing a deer. Like, I was like, the part y'all don't hear is the stuff of getting up before the sun rises, and you're out in the stand and you're seeing the woods wake up, you're hearing the birds start chirping, the sun coming over the horizon, the sun setting. Like, that's the whole process of it, to where it makes you respect what you're getting to do. And it's just, there's so much more to hunting than what people think. It's just going out there and killing an animal. Because there's so many people that go out that it's just like, they don't care if they kill that day. It's just like the getting to shoot an animal when you're out hunting, just the cherry on top. Yeah. Like,
I've gotten drawn twice for the unit by my house, 19A, and I haven't killed either time. I've seen a lot of deer. I just didn't see what I wanted to shoot. And here's another one of the differences, right? Like, we don't have to, not that you have to, but we're not in stands for the whole hunt. Like, I'm with my dad. We're telling stories. We're in the truck. We're driving. Then we're hiking, and not till because we're glassing a mile away sometimes, right? So we can talk and just quietly, and just those times to kind of hang out. Like, I learned how to do. He imparted on how to hunt these whitetail out here, these Coues deer. And just so the camaraderie, the family, the memories that are created is why we do it, right? I didn't do it to go kill a deer. I would have shot a spike, which I would never have done. But if I'm managing a deer herd and there's a coal spike, he's going down for sure. But like some of these young yearling or whatever, 1.5-year-olds, and I'm just going to give them a chance to grow, which Arizona really you don't have to do. But I just see from the Arizona mindset to the Texas mindset of growing deer to just shooting deer, it's totally different. So I just can't go shoot a deer just to shoot a deer.
Yeah, we've got a farm where they don't like the deer. They're like, kill anything you want, kill them all. And it's just a permission farm, right? And so I could go over there and shoot a spike if I want. Yeah. And I'm like, man, one of these times I ought to do it just because. But I'm like, it's so hard for me to bring myself to do that.
Yeah. Well, especially because Kentucky's a $1 state. And it's just
you can't waste it.
It's like, yeah, I mean, and there's such high quality deer, and there's such great potential in the area. It's just like, I'd rather go out and go fill all my doe tags, and go, if I wanted to go shoot 8 doe in a season, I'd go out to that farm and go out there and put a dent in the does out there. But I mean, even you go kill 8 does out at that farm, you're not even scratching the surface of putting a dent in it.
Bro, we took our one buddy. They wanted to get rid of deer, and we struggled the last 2 years because, like, when he and I are there, time's limited when it's the good time to hunt in November for the mature bucks, right? So, but then when I have time to doe hunt, it's like short 3-day windows, and it's like if I kill a deer Saturday and I got to leave Sunday and the processor's not open, this turns into a whole thing. Well, so we took our one buddy out in January. I was like, Travis, you already filled your buck tag, so your mission is shoot does. You interested? He's like, hell yeah, let's go. Dude, he was an hour into the sit, and he was already out of arrows. I was like, what are you going to do? He's like, well, I'm getting down right now to collect arrows. I guess I'm using used broadheads. Let's hope it works.
We had when I was still playing, it was called Hunt of a Lifetime. I don't know if they still have it, but it's like Make-A-Wish Foundation, right, for these terminally ill kids. And this kid wanted to do a hunt, right? That was one of his wishes. And I won't say the name of the outfit that had it because they wanted to stay quiet, and I'll just kind of respect that still now. But this company this was one of the ranches that I seen in the area in Texas. This was kind of like my first experience at a Texas ranch, like a real big one. This place literally had like a hotel, 30-bedroom hotel for their employees and their kids. Like, these guys did it right. They had, I don't know how many four-wheelers. I mean, they just had everything there, like just to the T's, right? Processing station. I mean, there was 4 or 5, systems to hang these dang animals and cut them and clean them and gut them and do all of this. And this kid wanted to shoot an elk. He shot the first old elk he's seen. I mean, this was literally like, I want to say like a 15,000 acre high fence ranch, like monster, right? And he shot the first, whatever, that's his deal, right? And this old timer that kind of ran this deal, he literally had an old timer knife, like, a little 3.5 inch blade. And he went through this elk, bro. It's superhuman. Like this, like I'm okay at cleaning a deer or whatever, but this dude just went through that elk literally within like 4 minutes, had it gutted, right? And then drag it on the deal, take it to this house. And to your point, I had to have seen 30 doe come in on the first round of this doe culling deal on this ranch. I had never seen anything like that in my life. And these ranch hands, the same thing, dude. They're hanging them up, cut, dump the buck, dump the guts. And it was just amazing how quick these guys did it. Because again, in Texas, you could do it year round, right? And so these guys just went through does, and we're going to donate it to the local food bank and all this and that. So it was something else to see because Arizona is a $1 state too. This is before I owned a ranch. And so I just blew my mind how many animals out there they were taking.
I think, so you talk about the part that people don't understand about hunting. I don't think there's a lot of people out there that realize this has always been a big thing for me. And Graham and I have talked about this because, Graham, I know you want to work with Hunters for the Hungry as a foundation.
Yeah.
But, like, people don't realize how many meals a year all these states, the hunters donate food to the food banks. Like in Kentucky, for example, the processor by us, I know the guy that runs the Hunters for the Hungry program works with them. But what they do is they take all the meat, they make it into jerky, and then they package it, and then in the school systems, they put the jerky in everyone's backpack, and they put it in every kid's backpack because they don't want the kids that don't have enough sustenance at home to like feel like they're left out or lesser or something. So they put it in everyone's backpack, but they feed a lot of these kids, so they got that extra protein and stuff. And then you got all these hunters that also, these programs that donate the food to the soup kitchens and stuff, which is like, I mean, you're talking millions of meals a year that hunters donate.
So, little background, my wife is a holistic nutrition practitioner, a lot of words there, but she believes in like healthy eating and healthy lifestyles and this and that, right? And so I know the difference of what cow meat is and like our system of how majority of cow meat that gets delivered to the food system and the fat and the corn fed and irregular omega-3 to 6 ratios and so on and so forth versus venison and how much healthier venison is, right? And I don't know why it's this way, but Autumn will not eat cow, but she loves elk and she loves axis deer, and it's some of the healthiest meat for her, right? And for everybody actually. So yeah, I think there needs to be more of an awareness and a campaign about what you just talked about, these organizations that do stuff like that.
Yeah, there'd probably be a lot less hate for hunting, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, and I saw something the other day that it was somebody posted, because people always ask, like, well, if deer meat and all this venison is so good for you, why don't they sell it in the store and stuff? And this company, I can't remember, it was some social media page, they posted and they were like, well, the reason they don't sell it in stores is because if it was sold in stores, it would be like $40 a pound versus,
yeah, that's true too,
like cows and stuff.
Well, not only that, but I would have to imagine if they're selling it in stores, it's going to have to come from an operation that is fenced in, and when it's fenced in that close quarters, then I would have to assume you're talking about vaccinations and other stuff. So then you're going right back into some of the stuff that makes beef not as healthy, I would assume. I don't know. We could probably ask Doug Roberts of Conquest Sense. He would know just because he deals with deer farming. Mm-hmm. But I would assume that's the case. But that being said, you go over to England, like you go to London and you go to Borough Market, they're selling venison there. But for venison for them isn't whitetail. It's red stag.
Stag, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that same old timer I was telling you about that went through that elk in like 5 minutes, he said that there was a time also when they would sell venison and elk. And he said, they'd come out there. First of all, if you're not like a close, tight, fenced-in quarters, like you got to go get the animal. Now, once that animal hits the ground, like there's literally somebody with you from the FDA with the stopwatch. This is what he's telling me. And like it hits the ground, the clock starts ticking. You got to have that animal in that refrigerated truck hanging, clean, skinned. I don't know like the level of cleanliness, but at least clean and skinned within 40 minutes. And so that in itself, like finding the people that can actually do that, or having the setup, or like your terrain can facilitate that, might be also a kind of a barrier for why we don't have stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd say the FDA is a big part of it. Think about it. How many agents would the FDA have to just go out with random Joe hunters to get the deer meat? Like, it's just not feasible.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Well, and the cattle industry is one of the top. They're right there with the pharmaceutical industries and everything else, that they don't want that competition. But I'm sure they'd probably get into it if it was lucrative enough. They just haven't done it. So.
Yeah. Well, look at the meat yield, right? Like a cow versus a deer.
Yeah.
So
1,000 pounds versus like buck. 80 pounds.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
and you lose a lot. Like, if you're trying to sell to grocery stores and maximize the animal, look at a lot of the cuts you do not get out of a deer compared to a cow, because the muscle is simply just that much smaller in the animal. Mm-hmm. Like brisket, you ain't gonna get a brisket. You're not gonna get the ribs. You're not gonna get the skirt steaks. You're not gonna get that, right? Like it's not there.
Like in the Mexican market, though, they sell a lot of other stuff, like the shank, I guess. They'll cut it in so you have the bone in. I can't remember what they call that cut, but you're not going to do that.
Man, my favorite thing to get from a Mexican meat market, I don't know what the technical term for it, it's like the flank and cut ribs. Like, instead of cutting parallel to the bone, they cut through the bone, and it's that really flat piece, and they're like 5 or 6 of them connected. Man,
those are so
season those bad boys up and throw them on the grill for like 2 minutes. Oh my goodness gracious!
And then if they already
dude.
If they don't already have it, you got to ask for it prepared. And if you ask for prepared in Spanish, it's even that much better, I guess. But you throw those boogers, like you said, on the grill. Those are always like, I'll get like a half pound for me while I'm cooking. Like everybody else's, carne asada or whatever. I'll put those on there and just eat those riblets while everybody else gets the other stuff.
Dude, they're so tasty. Graham, the person that introduced me to that is Jess Pryles, the chick that owns Hardcore Carnivore.
Okay.
She cooked that at one of the Academy events we were at. I was like, bro, this is dope.
And so
of course, we were in Texas.
They take that shank, that calf or whatever, and they'll cut it through the bone, so you'll have like, they're circular, maybe like an inch thick. Have you ever had that in a soup? Or they'll sear it and then cook it in a guisado, almost like not a soup as in like with a spoon, but like a watery flavored, garlicky, like there's, I don't know, you'd have to look it up, but
it sounds similar to what I had in Austria and the Czech Republic.
Maybe.
So you go over there and they call it boiled beef.
Okay.
And it sounds like, on the surface, it sounds like ew. But you go eat it, it's like this really rich, like beef broth, and then you got that big hunk of meat and the bone in there, and then the seasoning. It is really
Have you guys ever done marrow? Like a big cow bone marrow sawed in half, and they broil it, and
I've had it at a restaurant before, but I've never cooked it myself.
I haven't either. Yeah, I've done the same. It's like a buttery, flavory kind of. I don't know about butter is a great way, but the texture maybe is something close to that.
Yeah, you get the same thing, or you go get a ham at the store, and it's got the little bone in it.
Yeah,
it's got the marrow in the middle of it. There, you can eat that marrow. It's pretty tasty.
Every year, I always say I'm going to do this, and I never do, just because I'm just like always in the moment, and I'm cutting stuff, and then by the time I remember, I've already took the straps out. But I always want to do a tomahawk, just like on an axis or an elk. Always, I never do.
So we had one of my buddies that I played with, Ben Lively, on, and he did that with a deer that he just killed, and he had tomahawks with deer. He said it was the best backstrap that he's ever had off a deer. He said the bone he's like, for some reason the bone just made it have so much more flavor in it.
Yeah.
I did it once. I had the processor. I don't know if he was too happy with me. I was like, dude, those back straps. I was like, can you make that a standing rib roast? So it's basically a tomahawk, but they're all connected like you see when you get a rack of lamb, right? Man, it was tasty.
Damn. Yeah, okay. I got to do it. I usually, like me and my cousin, so my uncle was a meat processor butcher at Safeway retired from there, whatever, 40 something years. So he handed down my cousin all his grinders and saws and knives and cutting board. So I'll usually we process it on my own. So we're not as fancy, and I've just never brought a rib cage over there to do it. It's always cutting it out in the field or something like that. So I got to figure out a way to do it here.
The pain in the butt part with that, I believe the term is, they call it Frenching it out. Like, that's clearing all the other like sinew and fat away from that bone that is the shank on like the tomahawk, right? Because it's not naturally like that. You got all the other muscle tissue and stuff that it's just not enough there to eat. It's not worth cooking. So you got to like get rid of that and then get in between the bones if it's a standing rib roast. That's the pain in the butt part about it. That's the finer skills with the knife work.
So you had to do that every time you cut one out?
No. The processor did it when he made that standing rib roast for me. But like if you buy a standing rib roast at the store from like a cow or a pig, they'll still have all that on there. But when you see it's fancy and it's like that lollipop cut and then the bare shank, the butcher's already gone through there to clean off that little extra triangle and then all the stuff in between each bone.
Damn. That's a lot of work.
And the only reason I know this is because I did some shooting for a Wagyu beef company. So and there was a chef there that he's a chef, executive chef at La Bissée in DC, but like he did all that stuff. So I got to watch it in action. I learned a lot about cows and cow cuts real quick.
Good to know, though.
Yeah.
On my Facebook channel or whatever, I subscribe to some of those like wild game processing channels. I'm always seeing guys and what is this? What's this thing crawling here? And how do I cut that there? So.
Yeah. Dude, there's a lot of crazy stuff. Like I'm at the point anymore where I keep the tenderloins whole and then everything else I pretty much get ground meat.
Yeah, burger it up. Yeah.
With a deer, it's hard. Like, it's either ground meat or the next best option to me is jerky. Like, I've had them cut it into steaks before, but they're not as good because it's not like an actual steak, you know what I mean? Like, that you get from a cow.
Yeah, the only thing you could get other than that is just a roast if you wanted to do something, but...
Yeah. We'll do a lot of roast, though. We'll throw a lot of green chili and red chili roasts out here. That's kind of an easy one for us to do. But I'm with you. I burger most of it.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife loves the summer sausage and the Slim Jims, so we get a lot of that whenever I kill a deer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got something you got to go pick up, cuzzo.
Hey, we're picking that up when it comes when season gets in. I already told Emily, I said, once we get to Cincy, I got to go get our venison, bring it back.
Get some of that for spring training, damn it. Don't wait that long. Bring some back.
I can't to drive up. It's sitting in my parents' house right now.
Yeah.
Throw it in the truck.
I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, I wish.
You just gotta learn how to fly with it, man.
How can I go get it?
You fly up, you grab it, and you fly out to AZ. You just make one little extra pit stop.
Where are your parents at? Are your parents up there in Tennessee also?
No, it's Clayton's parents. They're up in Kentucky, so I'd have to drive 4.5 hours to go pick it up.
Get it from there.
Yeah. So I'm originally from Cincinnati, even though I live in Florida now, and that's where the farm in northern Kentucky stems from, being 45 minutes south of the city. And Graham, when he started playing for the Reds, my dad's like, this Ashcraft guy looks like he hunts. You should reach out. I'm like, yeah, that crap doesn't work. You should reach out. That crap doesn't work. Then one night I was like, screw it. And I sent him a message on Instagram and he responded. I was like, wow, it worked. And I told my wife the next day. She's like, wait a minute. So you slid into somebody's DM? I didn't think about it like that. She's like, you suck. I want to do that sometime. I was like, I don't know. I was just like, hey, bro, I know what it's like to like not be at home where you have all the land to hunt. So if you ever want to go hunting, let me know.
No doubt.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a small fraternity, as we all know, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was. I just my wife saying that was just hilarious though, because she's not like a big social media user either. So I was like, yeah, I guess I could say I slid into somebody's DM.
That's funny.
Sounds kind of weird.
Some of these leaders and like prestigious people that I'll hang out with every once in a while, and obviously it's got to be the right crowd. They're like, well, how did you guys meet? Like, how he's the leader of a tribe and you're a ball player. Like, where did you guys? You don't go to political events? And I'm like, we both swiped right, and they're just like, if they get it right away, they're like, that's fine, that's hilarious. And some people are like, what are you doing? I mean, I'm on grind. Yeah. Something like that. I'll say something crazy like that, and they.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's like, it really is. It's such a small community. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Good times.
It is, but it's crazy. Like Ben, when we had him on, he was like, man, like, I wasn't expecting it to be like it was when I came on the podcast. And I was like, dude, you'll be surprised when you talk with a lot of people that do a lot of hunting and get kind of dive into this industry. Like, man, everybody is basically the same type of dude. Yeah. Like you'll run into your couple little oddballs, but that's just because there's some type of engineer or something to where that's their.
Careful what you say.
Hey, it's okay.
I have an engineering degree. I don't use it, but I have.
Yeah, but you don't use it. Come on now. But it was just like you run into a couple of them, but I was like, dude, everybody is the same. Like everybody, like when you get into hunting, everybody has the same interests when it comes to it. Everybody has the same type of stuff to talk about. Everybody's got their own stories. Everybody looks at it pretty much the same way, but just a little different critiques in certain areas.
And no matter how society you want to be as far as hunting is concerned, everyone's got that little flare of redneck in them somewhere.
Yeah, but I call it brown neck over this way. I'm a brown neck.
So did Ben tell you that after we got off that recording, I guess?
Yeah.
He didn't know what to expect, did he?
No, he didn't.
We all don't care. We're all the same way. Yeah. What do you talk about when you're at work? Hunting and fishing. What do you talk about when you're not at work?
Hunting and fishing.
That's right. That's it. Like I don't know what else to talk about.
Sprinkling a little baseball and hunting and fishing. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. That's what I always joke. Graham and I joke because like growing up, I was like, I wanted to be one of two things. I wanted to be involved with hunting and fishing, or I wanted to play professional baseball. And he was the same way. I was like, well, I guess we just so happen to like flip the script. You're the baseball guy. Yeah. I'm the hunting industry guy.
Graham, have you worked? And I think Clayton, I might have asked you this. Have you talked or worked with like Duff and LaRoche and those guys at all? Chipper and any of them? No.
No.
Let's say they had that whole major league hunting deal. I don't even know if they're still doing it or not. It's been a while since I spoke with those guys, but that was something.
They still have it, but it's different. I think Chipper's out of the major league bow hunting side of it now.
Yeah.
Or if he's in it, it's like he's an owner and not on camera.
Yeah.
So, but like a lot, they were like the only ones that ball player wise that like had their own like syndicated television show on Outdoor Channel that I can remember. I don't know that anyone else did.
I don't know if anybody's really pursued it though. Like to your point, in my generation, I haven't seen. Like
the most notable after that would be like Tomei and Wainwright filming with the juries, but that wasn't their deal. It was the jury's deal, and they were like guests on the show, like or co-hosts, whatever you want.
It's like Austin. I would say like right now playing would probably be Austin Riley. I mean, he does that stuff with Realtree every now and then, but that's probably the only guy that I know that actually goes and gets in front of a camera for hunts right now.
But like, see, that's where this whole thing worked out, DJ. It's kind of interesting because like. We started this, the idea is like, well, Graham, you know, like the baseball guys that hunt, they can come on. And I've been in the outdoors industry for over a decade. And the reason we were able to kind of like take off in year one like we did is because, I mean, that's over 10 years worth of me working on a network in the industry because that's my livelihood. And it's like, hey, we need a guest. Who we want to have? Oh, all right, let's call this person. Yeah, sure, I'll come on. You know, and it's just one of those deals that kind of worked out that way. Like I built the network and I never really tapped into it. You know, because a lot of guys, they'll abuse it, and you can get blacklisted in this industry real quick because you're not smart about it. I never really tapped into it for my own personal ventures or use until this. But even then, I'm not really tapping into it like asking these guys like, hey, can you hook me up with such and such company or sponsor or whatever? It's just more like they're my buddies. Like, hey, dude, you want to come on and talk about hunting? I mean, we're going to talk about it anyway, so why not record it?
Yeah.
And then the podcast thing, because I've done the TV shows and all that stuff for so many years, I was like, Graham and I talked about it. Originally, the idea was like, we could do our own YouTube show. And I got to thinking about it. I'm like, man, but then we're beholden to like getting X amount of YouTube episodes every year, and you got to film your hunts. I was like, let's just do a podcast because then we can do it on our own time. We don't have to be hunting. And then when we're hunting, if we don't feel like filming, we don't have to freaking film. Like, I hate self-filming hunts. I'd rather, like, when I go to the woods, that's my time. Yeah. I look at hunting all day, every day on my computer.
Yeah. Clayton gets on to me because he's like, hey, I need you to get a couple B-rolls of showing this stuff or talking about this stuff, because half the time I'm just like, I'm sitting there, got the camera on my bow, I don't worry about nothing until something steps out, and then I'll just press record and have my bow in my hand.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love filming it, and I will try to film my own hunts. I love filming other people's stuff, but like sometimes, like when I go to the farm, like, and it's like prime time, I'm like, dude, big one walks out, that camera is the least of my
That's
concerns.
right. Yeah, you might.
If I'm filming myself, like if you and I go and the idea is I'm supposed to be filming you, yeah, I'm gonna film it because that's my job at that given, or my role at that point, right? But like when it's myself and I'm in charge of filming it myself, I'm like, nah, deer first, buddy.
So I got a funny story about that. Actually, I don't know. Let me see. Where is he at? It's this deer right here. That little kicker. See the little fork kicker there?
First off, I got to tell you, I'm impressed with how easily you're getting that point back thing and nailing it every time. I can never nail it that easily.
So that deer, we're talking about filming. Like, I'm trying to be slick here, thinking I'm going to try and film my own hunt just so I can have it right. And I'm probably, I don't know, this was a rifle hunt, and I was probably 150 yards back from this little draw where it kind of opens up, where they had cut a road, and I'm, I'm behind some bushes, and I'm trying to figure out, I had this like cheap Amazon, like little tripod thing, right? It was super cheap, plasticky. And it would like, you'd set it and then you'd let your hand off and then like the phone would fall like a half inch or whatever. And I'm trying to get all this thing in, I got the rifle on my side, I'm getting ready, and here comes a doe and her fawn, and perfect time to try and like figure this out. Right. And so I'm doing this on my phone. And so I got a little bit, and I'm just looking, I'm just kind of just checking it out. And sure enough, like, if you don't stay on the phone, like if it's not recording, it only has 10, 15 seconds, and then it turns off, right? And then you got to turn it back on. I wasn't smart enough at the time to think like, hey, take the password off or the thumbprint deal or whatever. And so here we go again. I see something just starting to come out of the shadows, and I'm on my phone, like trying to get it turned on. I look up, and I see this pretty dang good rack. And he wasn't running or like jogging, but he was on a pretty brisk walk. And this thing was probably only 15 yards wide. And I'm trying to get this phone to turn on to film this deer because I got it in the vicinity. But dude, I'm freaking out now because that's a good looking deer, and I can't unlock this thing. And I still got to get to phone. Then I got to get to video. And then I got to pick up the rifle. And I'm like, to hell with this filming junk. And by the time I got it up there, I was already zoomed all the way out. I had seen it with my eyes, but he was kind of going through some shadows and sun. So I didn't get a definitive look at the rack. I just knew it was a good deer. And in Oklahoma, you can have more than one deer, so why not? Dude, his head was into the other side of the trees already by this point, and I just shot for the breadbasket, and I got him. No freaking chance at any kind of video. If I would have done that, the deer would have been gone. So I'm with you, dude. I'm like, never again. I got to get one that like a Tacticam that goes on it or whatever, but man, it was intense really quick, and it just all happened so fast. So I was fortunate.
Yeah, that's the problem with it, right? Like, it happens so fast, there's not a lot of time. Like, you're either like full hunting and half-hearted filming, or you're full filming and half-hearted hunting. So I'm like, dude, I'm choosing hunting.
That's right.
I mean, this is my time.
That's right.
That's kind of the benefit of having it. It's right in front of my left hand on my bow. And so it's like when my bow's hanging from the limb, all I got to do is just go up, press that button, and then grab my bow. And then I put my release on, and then I just hold it there and just move with the deer.
I will say he found that thing. It's like $30 on Amazon, DJ, and it goes, if you've got the screw and stabilizer, it goes in between the stabilizer and the riser on your bow. And you can just mount your GoPro right on there. And the GoPro is that one button record feature. All you got to do is press that one button and you're golden. And obviously it's already lined up, so it's filming wherever you're shooting.
Yeah.
So like if you wanted to film your own stuff, at least bow hunting, that's what I would do. Yeah. Now with the GoPro, you can get the clamp. I just clamp it onto my rifle scope and then just orientate the GoPro how I need it. That way with a gun, same deal. All I got to do is press the one button on top of the GoPro and I'm rolling.
Which I did see somebody, I think it was at was it ATA was this past month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what? Yeah, at ATA they came up with this GoPro mount that you could use it on a gun or a bow, and it's magnetic. It's a magnetic strip. So you can strap it around the side of your bow so it would sit like on the side of the bow facing out. So I was like, that's pretty interesting, because then you can at least take it, do some self-filming, talking to it, and then just put it back on your bow, and then it's just right there.
Well, another fun one that I don't think you guys get to do very much of is thermal hunting in Texas, thermals and night vision. And for pigs and exotics and stuff like that. That's a whole nother fun game, man. When the sun goes down and you usually got to pack it up, sometimes that's when it starts. And you just see animals that you would never see, you know.
My dad has a little handheld thermal that he'll use when he walks into the woods, and it gets crazy. I mean, you can see some stuff, like he'll hand it to me sometimes if he can't hunt in the morning, and I'll take it with me when I'm walking in, and I won't even turn the flashlight on. I'll just walk with that thing all the way in and just slowly walk it, check the woods, walk a little bit more, just keep checking, make sure I don't bump nothing going in. And
I did that one time coyote hunting. I was spotting with that little handheld thing, and the other guys were on the gun, and like they're looking, all right, back in that field. I'm looking, they're like, all right, that's a deer. And they said it was a deer, and then they keep spinning their look. I'm like, boys,
Not a deer.
I don't think that's a deer. They go, what do you mean? I said, that's got a gait like a dog. And sure enough, they spun back, and you're like, you're right. And I was like, yeah, I know, it's a coyote. You gonna shoot it or not?
Even for traffic.
It was fun though.
There was one evening in Texas where I had shot an axis buck, and the bullet didn't come out, and there was just no blood, man. I went direction, after whatever half hour, and maybe I got turned around or whatever. I just could not find this dang deer. And so I went back to the house and got the thermal because it was already dark. Now I'm looking with a flashlight and I can't see anything. Sure enough, dude, I just got to the side where I could see that side of the hill, and boop, there it lit up like a Christmas tree and went right to it. So that helped me out a lot.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect for tracking at night too. Yeah. I mean, because especially if you can catch it within that like first hour before that blood starts cooling off, if it's not too cold, you can follow the blood trail on the ground with those things. It's amazing, honestly.
Yeah. They're fun.
Oh, technology.
But
I mean, you deal with it in baseball, Graham. I bet the two of you, there's a total seismic shift in the technology available between when DJ was playing and you playing now. It's the same deal as hunting, the evolution of the technology side.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. That's 100% right.
So, yeah, see, the technology, it's good and it's bad, right? Like, there's good uses for it, and then there's bad uses for it. It's the same for social media. Social media is good and bad. I think it enlightens the world to a lot of stuff that's positive, but it's also a bunch of negative involved with it too.
But even from the aspect of like deer hunting, I think about when my grandpa hunted these deer that are on the wall too, and 30-06 and 270 was really, there was no ballistic tips, there was no binoculars or optics that got that far for the average man that could own or afford to own it. And getting into some of those roads that are now cut that weren't then, like for out west anyways, that was the amount of harvested now compared to, call it 2 generations ago is night and day, bro. Even bows shooting at over 400 feet, per second kind of deal. And back then what it was, and all of that, aluminum arrows and all that kind of junk.
Dude, they had a new bow at ATA this year. 40-pound draw weight, no let off. But at 40-pound draw weight, it still shoots over 300 feet per second. No way.
Are you serious?
Is that the hydraulic limbo?
I don't know. It looks like a Tesla version of a bow, is all I can tell you.
I saw one bow that was out there that had hydraulic limbs. So you would draw it back, and it was like Clayton was saying, like a 30, 40-pound draw. And then when you'd get to the back anchor, the limbs would literally on the bow would pull down to make the limbs stronger. And then it would shoot the arrow, and then the limbs would come back out. And
it was all mechanical? I got to see that. Well, I mean, that would be great for women, right? Like, I think.
But I don't see how you'd be able to hunt with it, because it's like a.
Oh, it makes a lot of noise.
You can hear the hydraulics pulling it in.
And I wonder too if Arizona is one of those states. You mentioned like black powder, right? Like you can still use a scope here. My dad has a custom muzzleloader that shoots. I killed my last Coues deer with it 2 years ago at 550 yards with that muzzleloader, bro. Like that doesn't happen in other states. Like literally, some of them are light the freaking wick and wait for it to go off. Others are iron sights only. Like you got to use a ball. You can't use a spherical kind of bullet. Or I mean, it changes from can't use pellets in some states, but here it's still wide open to the best technology you can get. Like I started on an old Traditions, right? Like I'm lucky if that thing hits at 100 yards, and my dad's at 550 yard on a 100-pound deer. That's cheating in my opinion, but it's legal here to do that, right? So.
Is it a CVA or
no? It's a custom. I think there's a place called Mesa, Arrowhead Mesa or whatever, and custom barrel and all that kind of stuff. Actually,
They're the real deal, man. They kick like a mule, though.
this one's actually, it's got a muzzle brake on it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's on par with like, call it a 300 Win Mag or something like that, which does kick, but for shooting a 300 plus grain bullet at 500 yards, it's not that bad,
That's a big hunk of lead for a 100-pound deer, buddy.
Yeah, it blew right through that deer, but it was an amazing hunt with me and my brother and him, and good time.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, I think I'm about out of time, fellas. I have to go get some work done.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for having me on the show. This was great. When does
thanks for coming. It was fun.
When do you guys air? Like once a week, once a month? How does it work?
Well, we kind of had a little bit of a downturn because I've been working on stuff with the other deal with Jarrett, and then some other work stuff that like just kind of panning out. But we're gonna do I think we actually, Graham, we talked about it. We got enough in the can now. We may run once a week here for a little stretch. So what I will do, DJ, is when this one goes out, I'll send you a heads up so you can share it if you want to share it with people. But what'll happen is, are you on Instagram and Facebook?
Facebook, but I don't even know if I'm even to check that shit.
So, because what happens is we air the episode, and then every day for a week or two, we'll post a 60-second reel that we pull out of the episode. So yeah, you'll be all over the socials.
Well, Graham, if you need anything, dude, I got a place up in Surprise that I'm in and out of spring training, meeting with everybody, all the old timers, and holler if you want to hang out or something during spring training.
Oh yeah, definitely down to try to get some dinner or something one night.
Let's do it.
For sure.
Clayton, you can put it together on contacts. That'd be good.
Yeah, I can do that. We need to go hunting, boys.
Let's do it. Well, we got to wait on somebody to play a damn season. Hey, you might have a lot of time next year. Hopefully not, but we'll see how that goes too.
Yeah, we'll see how that one goes. It's tell you, the Dodgers are making it interesting for us.
Yeah. I don't know. Last time y'all got locked out, there was a camp out in Arizona and like Mesa. I had ran that camp, so if something happens again, maybe we'll be seeing each other at some point again.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hey, you guys you still got to get the work in. Just because you ain't playing.
You never know when
you got to keep performance up, dude.
The call happens, man.
Real quick, Graham, I don't even know if I ever asked you, how was that when COVID happened? It was the same deal, like with a lockout be something similar, like you're just
COVID,
throwing your pitches, keeping your reps and all that stuff as much as you can.
I mean, during COVID, I was in the minor leagues, so it was just, I was waiting to see if I was going to get a call to go to the instruct camp that was up in Cincy, and that never happened. So I was just back home throwing lives to high schoolers and college kids. I probably threw 70, 80 innings during COVID just doing that. So
how many of those high schoolers got a hit off of you?
Not a single one.
He put a net in the barn at the farm so he could throw into it during deer season when he needs to.
It'd be something.
Got to keep the arm moving.
I've always thought, if you can get close enough with a bow, could we really kill a deer with a spear? Right? We got some arms on us, right? That was just something I thought about. And then I always think about these guys in Africa or tribal members back in the day. If they want to eat, they got to chuck it, right? Some of them had the stick with the notch in the spear.
The Atlas, yeah.
Yeah, is that what it's called, Atlas? Yeah, mm-hmm. I was always thinking about maybe doing something trying with pigs. At first, but it'd be fun.
Hey, look up Tim Wells. Tim Wells has killed some stuff at 30 yards with a spear before throwing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't go in very far, but it's a big enough, we'll call it
injury
spearhead that it's such a big wound channel that I'm guessing it would just pump the blood.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, DJ, I don't know if you ever heard of this. He was in Africa or something, fell out of a tree when he was doing that with the spear, and he landed on the spear and it went through his upper leg, and he almost bled out in the field.
Oh, so that Tim Wells, that's how he hunts all around is.
Yeah,
he does everything, but that spear thing, he does the he does wild stuff.
He spear hunts and he bow hunts, but he doesn't use gun unless he's squirrel hunting or something.
Yeah.
But he'll kill stuff with a blow dart gun. He's killed grizzly bears and black bears with a blow dart gun. He's got some crazy stuff out there, but he doesn't use any sights. He goes all traditional when he shoots.
I've always said that if you build your own bow out of whatever traditional wood and, you know, string, like not synthetic rope, and you craft your own arrows, like you should be able to go hunt a deer at any point in the year. That's what I always thought. You know, make sure it checks out, go to the Game and Fish, whatever you got to do. But that's truly hunting. Like that's what this whole country was able to like sustain itself when they got here, is to do that, right? And every generation of people at some point or another early on in time had to do that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right, guys.
Well, thank you,
Well, pleasure
DJ.
meeting you.
Appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having
Nice
me.
meeting you too. Look forward to getting to meet you and hang out in person for a
I'll
little
be
while.
down there. You holler when you get time.